Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome back to Brown Bag Bets. Powered by BETSPERTS, we are your daily dose of quick hit handicapping and sports betting picks. I'm Alex Christenson, and joining me, as always, after a nice Christmas where he got some sort of machine that makes German noodles. I didn't know there were German noodles. Can you tell us a little more about this, Andy?
Oh, the Germans are famous for their noodles and their strudels. But yeah, no, I
I've
got a
heard of the strudels.
Spätzle maker yet last night from my mother, and her recipe for Spätzle, which was probably even better since I don't really have a recipe of my own. But yes, I had a nice German Christmas yesterday with some pork tenderloin, little tenderloins cut up in the sauce, and then spätzle and the hot cabbage and some nice salad. So nice little Christmas. I'm wearing black because it's slimming because I ate my face off for 4 days, and boy, do I got to go to the gym today. It's been a rough one, but football was fun. Even last night's game, at least the first half, it was hilarious. At least, like, oh my god, they are just throat throttling this team, and
Just
poor
unloading.
Washington just couldn't get anything figured out on the offensive line. Poor Heineke was under duress for most of his life last night. And yeah, the Cowboys beat some bad teams here. You're gonna beat bad teams, and suddenly people are gonna bet on you. I guess that's a thing. You should do that before they beat the bad teams. I don't know if the Cowboys are truly a really big threat to some of the creme de la creme of the NFC, but
That's what I was
it
going
made
to
for
ask.
it
Do you
made
think
for
they'll
a
knock out the
nice.
Packers, the Buccaneers? Are we
See,
still of the mindset it's the Bucks and the Packers? I'm of the mindset it's Tampa Bay. It doesn't look like they're going to get the number one seed, but they still seem like the best team.
Yeah, as long as they can do what they did last year and just have nobody get injured. They are starting to have a little bit of injury attrition. Green Bay's actually getting healthier. So I have those teams on even footing right now, truthfully, and I think that'll be fun if that's our NFC title game. Although the
Yeah.
Niners or the Cowboys or the Rams or the Cardinals, any of those teams, I think we're set up to have some good title games, regardless on both sides. There's a lot of parity this year. Really, the Packers are a game up on everybody, and it doesn't feel like, oh, this is a team that's been just stomping on people. It feels like they've won
Right.
a couple close ones. So I'm 100% fine with some fun ones. And yeah, Patrick says congrats to everyone who got an enormous amount of CLV on this game. As most of these games have gone, there has been some opt outs. This one was extreme opt outs. If we just want to go right, so
Western Michigan, of course.
yeah, the quick lane bowl. I was gonna talk about it, but Christ, it started half hour ago. Like, this was an early morning start, and I was joking to Dan we could
I'm
give
just
us,
glad they still have it.
yeah, a second half play or something. But yeah, the quick lane bowl, Nevada is missing everyone, and Western Michigan was not hit nearly as hard with opt outs or anything like that. So Western Michigan opened about a touchdown underdog. A lot of people got +6, and this closed with them pretty much being a touchdown favorite. So, and they are up 13-3 right now. I don't
14 to
cheer
3.
against I don't cheer against CLV. I don't want to see CLV dumpster fires. I like to see people get the best of the line and actually get to take advantage of it. So
Get
I'm
rewarded.
just gonna sit here. I didn't bet it. I didn't get involved in this one, but I am gonna sit here and cheer for Western Michigan to at least win the game. I don't care if they cover the. In fact, I hope they don't cover the late number. I hope people who bet it late. I wish ill upon them. Actually, you know what? I am gonna wish ill if that's bad karma.
You
I'm
don't like
kidding,
steam
but
chasers? This is an
no. I
anti-steam
mean,
chaser moment.
there was. I mean, Nevada even had a late opt out today. I mean, they added to their misery today. So nothing for me there. I looked at some soccer. Like, there's not a ton to bet today. We'll get into the NBA and football here in a second, but I might not place any bets. I did a little bit I'm lying. I did a little on Dolphins first half, but other than that, like, there's one college basketball game I don't show an edge in. Plus, it's an ACC game. I don't bet those anyway. There's basically no soccer. You got Newcastle and Man U later. They play two. It's like an afternoon game. There's two Turkish matches that are starting in like 25 minutes. I'm not really showing anything on either of those. And yeah, so I'm just gonna flip the TV on, watch the rest of the Quick Lane Bowl, do some golf stuff, get ready for a Tournament of Champions here in about a week and a half, and go from there. And yeah, Dan has some stats up right now. It's 14-3 Bronx over the Wolf Pack. And courtesy of 100-yard kickoff return, we're seeing some kickoff returns in these bowl games. And
Live
yeah,
line's only like minus 15.5.
it's looking
I mean,
like
does Nevada
curtains.
have any fight in it, or is West Virginia just going to keep putting it on? Should I be
I
looking
mean,
for like a minus 20 something live line? What do we got here?
they even had coaches out at this point. Like they have an interim coach. Dan had a fun fact about that. The interim coach is the running back's older brother. So like, I think the joke was that they're going to give it to that guy a bunch.
Well,
He ain't heavy. He's
could
my
go either
brother.
way.
Yeah. Or yeah, you don't want to show favoritism. Like, yeah,
Depends how
sorry.
the relationship.
Yeah,
Maybe they don't like each
I was
other.
gonna say, I was gonna say how my kids were on Christmas. If one was running the team, the other one wouldn't see the ball at all. They were terrible, but they got a lot of presents. So I guess they managed. They managed to get on the good list.
We got to be nice all year. You can be naughty for like a few days after Christmas. You got all year to catch up.
Yeah, they're getting that out of their system. I bet the Bulls last night. What are the odds that that game happens? They're pretty determined to play that, right? I
Yeah,
mean, the
it's
Hawks
getting
don't have
less and less
anyone left.
likely.
Okay,
I have
I
to
got
go
a good
back and
number.
look. Yeah, I'll have to go back and look. It basically comes down to more and more guys for Atlanta are popping up here. And I
Yes.
think we were looking, there was one name that popped up from the DeLon Wright popped up as possibly having COVID now, too. And I think if he's out, unless Atlanta can sign somebody today, they just might not have 8 guys. Again, in the NBA, if a team can put 8 guys, kind of on the bench and say they're good to go, they've been making them play. But I think the Hawks might finally be below that magic number. So we'll see. You might get some CLV, but you might have to mark it as a push, if you will.
Yeah, it was a 4.5 last night. I think it's a juicy 6 at this point. And yeah,
Yeah.
the Hawks are down to nobody. They might be calling you. And it's just, I don't know if you can make it to Atlanta in time, nor should you play against my Bulls. That would be very, very Benedict
Well, I
Arnold-esque
would
of
if they
you.
called me. We're just going to go lay
Well,
some
yeah, I
Bulls
mean,
numbers.
I guess I wouldn't blame you for getting your shot at the show. Former Lehigh walk-on Alex Christensen looking to make his NBA. I'm not
LaSalle.
Lehigh, LaSalle. I didn't even get your college right. Now I feel
Actually, I
dumb.
didn't get a chance to try to walk on. Anyway, that's a story for
I'm
another
I'm
day.
calling you a walk-on. I'm going to put it out there for my PR stuff for when you make your debut tonight. You did make some bets though. You had 2 sides and a total. Looks like they're not canceling all the games, and we're back. Yeah, back to the NBA here.
As I've said a couple times, we just keep plugging along, and that's what I'd like. Let's get through this season. Let's see if we can get back to kind of some kind of normal calendar here, at least for these guys. And so far, again, so good. We'll start with the Hornets. The Hornets are laying. I was able to get 6. They're laying 6.5 now. Would play this out to 7 against a Houston Rockets team that is starting to pick up some injuries, continues to play bad basketball, and is on the front end of a back-to-back here. Just a lot of things that are just really tough. The Rockets, especially, it's interesting this year. I talked about the Nuggets specifically, how they're bad on the first end of a back-to-back, better on the second end of it. As I look at it, there's a handful of other teams that maybe follow that to a lesser degree. And we've seen that with the Rockets. They're fairly conservative with player minutes here in the first part of their back-to-back. I wonder if Christian Wood gets a full load tonight. But either way, even if we do see everyone on the Rockets play kind of their normal minutes tonight, we've got a Hornets team that is finally back to full strength. I think the market has been a little slow to catch up to them. I have this -9, almost -10 as I start to tweak some stuff. Again, if the Rockets really do kind of throttle back some minutes here for the starters, I think we're looking at a big Hornets win tonight. So happy to lay 6, even 7 points with them. The Dallas Mavericks playing the Portland Trailblazers. This number has been kind of opening and closed places all morning. I think people are a little nervous to see what Dame Lillard's going to do. He's questionable. I honestly don't care. If Dame Lillard is out, Mavericks -1 or a pick 'em, which you can find is an excellent number. I have the Mavericks about 3-4 point favorites in that situation. If Dame Lillard's in, my model would have this a lot closer, probably right around a pick 'em, honestly, maybe Dallas a small favorite, but that's before going through and considering some of the Trailblazers injuries here. It's been really tough all season, not only with all the players being out, but trying to figure out how to make adjustments for guys that you've never even really considered. And we finally in the NBA have something that you guys talk about in the NFL all the time, cluster injuries. You look at the Blazers here, all of their big men are
Yeah.
out. It looks like Covington might be playing center tonight. And You look at the Mavericks, they continue to be without Luka Doncic, but that's been fine. They just put out this giant lineup on the floor. They put Porzingis out there with Powell. Jalen Brunson, even for a point guard, is a pretty big player. And they just are overwhelming teams with generating extra possessions through offensive rebounding. And by turning the turnovers down, they're just really dominating teams in terms of extra possession. And this just looks like a perfect spot for them tonight. I think that, again, Lillard's out. This is a great number. Lillard's in. It's a good number. Let's take the Mavericks to win tonight again. You should be able to find a pick 'em, but I toss -1 up there. That's fine. -1, -2, anything like that. And then Jazz Spurs over, was able to get this actually this morning around 228. Again, make sure you follow myself at BETSPERTS, Alex Christenson with no space, and then Andy at Andy. That's how you get these nice early numbers before the show. But again, still like it. Looking around, seeing some 229s, even 230s. I'll draw the line at 230 here, but you have a team in the Spurs that's playing the fastest possessions of anybody in the league, less than 14 seconds per possession, which is just staggering. A Jazz team pretty much fully healthy as any team in the league. I think it's a great matchup for the Jazz. We've got fast possessions. We have a chance for a blowout. There is nothing better for an over than a blowout. So really like the over here. Again, anything 230 or lower. So Hornets -7 or better, Mavericks -2 or better, Jazz Spurs over 230 or better.
Or better. Shop around,
It's
fellas.
better. Got to shop. There's still, it's
Shop.
early enough in the day. There's a few places that are slow, a couple regulated shops, thank you very much, but 30, 40 minutes behind everybody else.
Tends to happen, especially this early in the morning. Especially in basketball. Boy, howdy. Shop around. You always shop around for everything, but the Dolphins are pretty much 3 everywhere. 3 -20 a lot of places too. You're gonna have to pay a little for the 3.
Another CLV
This
spot.
is another really big CLV spot for people that got Miami +4
Ooh,
in certain spots. Yeah, there. I mean, anything. I think anything.
Right, +2 to -3. That's
anything pick or better is fine. You should be feeling pretty good. Ian Book is not good. Ian Book does not have an NFL arm. Ian Book was probably a waste of a draft pick. Yeah, it was close the book on this chapter. And Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill's not playing. Sean Payton's been great about bringing in backup quarterbacks and having them play decent. Trevor Siemian beat the Bucks earlier this year. You know, they've done things with Teddy, with Siemian, with Taysom Hill. They've been able to be successful. And I really don't think the Miami Dolphins are that good. But Christ, everybody's out for New Orleans. They're missing a shitload of players, and they have a really bad quarterback. They're going to have some of the playmakers who are left make some plays for them to even get on the board here. His yardage total is like 170. So it's going to be a rough one. I just don't see how this kid's ready to go. Like, he's their 4th option. It was at the beginning of the year.
In the chat, are they going to have a backup, or are we just going Wildcat? If Ian Book goes down, is it just Kamara, get out there, you run some handoffs, and this is what we're doing today?
Yeah, Kamara hands off to Ingram. Ingram hands off to Kamara. Short stuff, bubble screens. I don't know, but yeah, Ian Book it's not it. So if you wanted to bet some Miami, even at a horrible number, I wouldn't blame you here, or like a New Orleans team total under. And you can see this total is only 38. It's not implying that many touchdowns, but we think, unlike the last Saints game, there will be a touchdown. There should be at least one. And as is tradition, we will be betting on who the first one is, courtesy of Noops. What do you got? You got a fat card today. A thick card.
It's a lot. Because again, it's kind of a funky game, and I will mention our buddy Heck. If you don't follow him, I forget what Sports Heck Model's actual handle is. There's all sorts of going on, but he does a great job posting some of his NFL stuff. He was rude enough to ask me today what I thought about no touchdowns, and as I mentioned in the chat, and I will say again, I'm too positive a person to consider an NFL game without a touchdown. But
I thought he was saying New Orleans touchdown.
Oh, you saying no touchdown? Might be. I don't know.
I think you're right. I'm kidding.
No touchdown really freaked me out, but it might happen, honestly. But I'm not going to choose to believe that. I think we've got a good shot here. And, we've got Kamara. He's sitting at the top of the market. Makes perfect sense. That's right where he should be. Even though you have Miami a little bit favored, he is pretty much the dominant ball guy here. You look at some of the other Dolphins lines. Myles Gaskin, again, deservedly very high up on the list. If I was going to pick somebody, it'd probably be Gaskin. He's somebody I'll probably be try to use him in DFS, maybe some single game parlays, stuff like that. But as you get sort of here towards the middle, there's a couple numbers I really liked. We'll start with Gesicki. leader in red zone targets after Waddle for the Dolphins, especially when Tua is playing. Just somebody that gets a lot of looks. Very athletic guy, someone that honestly, I don't know if he's fulfilled a lot of the potential. I don't know if that's kind of a Dolphins thing, a him thing, but someone that continues to make incredible catches the few opportunities he has and gets a tons of looks. So 12-1 or better on him. Marquez Callaway, someone I continue to play, continues to get looks. It's been a little rough in the first touchdown score, but he scored a couple touchdowns after the fact, which always helps a little bit. So 18-1 or better on him. Again, continues to draw the most targets. It's tough given the Saints quarterback situation. We'll see. You'll see. I am going to bet Book to score a touchdown. We've heard that the Saints are going to go with a very Taysom Hill-like playbook, but we've seen Taysom Hill. I mean, if Book can throw, Callaway's going to have some chances to get over the top. We just need him to complete one ball and not fall down at the 10-yard line or something goofy like that. So, maybe it's like one of those touchdowns you see in an Army-Navy game where all of a sudden there's 10 guys in the box and one guy's running down the field. So I don't mind Callaway. Again, Book, they're going to run a Taysom Hill-like playbook here. So 15-1 or better on Book, just simply given the opportunities he'll have. Looks good. The tight end for the Saints, they're all gone except Nick Vannett. So, 24-1, 20-1 or better on him looks good. He's kind of the last tight end standing there. He still gets a bunch of looks anyway, even with the other guys in the field. So, as they get closer, I think Book will look to him. Tua runs the ball very well, has a couple rushing touchdowns already. Again, kind of a system play. I'm going to play any rushing quarterback, especially one like Tua at 20-1 or better. 20-5-1, you should be able to find pretty easily. And then Mr. Smythe here is the backup tight end for the Dolphins, and seems to come in when one of the top three receivers come out. If you go back and look, he gets almost no targets when Wilson, Parker, and Waddle are all on the field. Wilson's out tonight. I think he's going to slide into that spot, start to see some more work tonight, and a very big number. Unfortunately, Jeremy didn't work out with our sprinkle last night, but this one definitely worth a little bit here. Again, I'd have him in kind of the 20s, given the fact that we've missed some wide receivers here, and the Saints have given up a lot of tight end touchdowns. So a nice pack for us here. Durham Smythe, Notre Dame legend. Big Notre Dame game tonight. We've got Ian Book, Mr. Smythe, all sorts of Notre Dame.
It is kind of a big Notre
Which is probably why it's going to be a boring football game.
And I mean, the last couple seasons of Book's career, he ran it like 10 times a game. Like he's fine trotting out there. Or I want to say, I'm looking here too. In 12 games, he ran it 116 times. I don't know how much that includes like scrambles and sacks and bullshit like that, but 4.2 yards a carry, not bad for the young man. So, I'm looking for him to do some things on the ground as well. He does kind of stink. I think they'll probably be. It sucks they don't have tight ends. Like, what do you do when you have a quarterback who's in a tough spot and he's not ready to play, and he probably isn't, somebody you're going to want seeing going deep a bunch. You give him the tight ends, you give him the running backs. That's kind of what I ended up doing here with a PrizePicks entry. I didn't really want to get too involved with too many Saints overs, but everybody who had bet an under on is out. So I took some Kamara over 21 and a half receiving yards. I think you see Book probably not testing the waters deep, and a lot of checkdowns, a lot of screen passes, a lot of, oh shit, my reads are all like panic, the old panic reads where, and then he just throws to the running back. So I think Kamara is fine. And in normal game plans, Kamara's getting like 6-7 targets sometimes. So I think this is a titch low, should be closer to 30, 35. And then Devonta Parker, 42 and a half receiving yards. He's only been under. I shouldn't. I feel like I had this jotted down and I didn't say it exactly right, but I think he's only been under this total twice all year when he's played, and both of them were 42 yards on the nuts. Like he's seeing enough targets where he should be a 60, 80 yard guy. And the fact is that Miami's spreading it around a little. Everyone's kind of back, but the fact that the amount of targets this guy's seeing, I have him projected out for like 60 yards. You go to my 4-for-4 stuff, they have both of these projected quite a bit higher as well. That makes me feel better. And I'm running kind of hot. I won a PrizePicks last weekend.
Let's do it, baby.
I had a Kyler Murray under 1.5 passing touchdowns, that sucks. Sweating one of those the whole game sucks, especially since he had a passing touchdown in the first half. So let's go. I hopefully get another 3-1. Just keep putting some money in that account.
Easy squeezy.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we like. And again, the 4 for 4 tool is great. I mean, if you're interested in prize picks or doing any props at all, honestly, that thing helps a ton.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Western Michigan with a field goal, up 17-3 as we sign off here. We'll be back tomorrow.
Should have
I'll
bet
probably
minus
be talking
17.
I'll probably be betting some college basketball tomorrow. We'll have some stuff. We'll have some stuff going for CBB. We'll have some NBA. We'll talk a bunch of bowl games. There's like 9 bowl games or something stupid tomorrow. That seems like too many. Maybe like 5 or 6. But I'll probably have some bowl game takes, and we'll of course have basketball. We'll talk a little football, and no tennis still, right?
Next week, coming soon.
Next week. Next week. Tennis and golf are back soon. So we'll get back into that. Maybe we'll talk some hockey if the NHL decides to start playing games again. And from there, we'll just catch you tomorrow. Hit the thumbs up and check in here on Tuesday. Huh?